guys, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and we are talking about some interesting topics in witchcraft. Some people might call them taboo because in conjure work, which is what we're talking about in the series that I'm working on, it does in fact include Jesus, Mary, and the Bible, the Christian Bible. So, with that said, if this is something that you don't want to hear about, that's okay. Look through my other content, not talking about conjure. Because if you take the Bible out of conjure, it's absolutely still working, but it's not conjure work. Okay, so I'll delve in and say, first of all, we've already been talking about some spiritual ancestors of conjure. We talked about Big Mama, we talked about St. Peter or Cephas, we talked about Moses, and we talked about Elisha. And now we are going to talk about, in this video, 3 more. We're going to talk about the Queen of the Waters, and we're going to talk about St. Anthony of Padua, and then we'll be talking about the 7 Holy Spirits. And that's the end of this chapter, and after this video we'll be on to the next chapter called Places of Power, where it'll be talking about the graveyard. Where else? Well, the graveyard's going to be a whole video, it looks like. The crossroads. The bank, the police station, things like that. So, for Places of Power, we'll have a lot coming up. And then I need to show you what book we're reading from. We are reading from this book, Old Style Conjure, Hoodoo, Rootwork, and Folk Magic by Star Casas. So far, this book has been one of my, it is one of my favorite books on witchcraft so far. I haven't been able to put it down, and I haven't been able to stop reading it to you guys. Also, in my last video, I was talking about a sister YouTuber in Scotland, and her channel is called the Woodland Hag, and I put that in the description of my last video. I'll also put it in the description of this video, because she has great content that I'm super adore and I'm super in love with, and it's really awesome that we share these people in our community so that you can see these great people as well. So let's talk about the Queen of the Waters, shall we? I'm actually going to have a drink of water. Okay. The Queen of the Waters. When I was young, my mama and my older sister used to tell me stories of the Queen of the Waters. She ruled over things in the waters, and sometimes she would take to humans if she thought they were hers. I was first told when I was about 12 or 13 and almost drowned in the river. I was first told of her then. I am a Leo, which means I'm a fire sign. But my whole life, I have loved the water. When I was a child in the summertime, I lived at the pool. Or if we went camping, which we did often in the summer, I loved the river or the beach. I still do. The water to me is empowering and relaxing at the same time. I feel at home in the water, and even though I'm a fire sign, I wasn't going to write about Momi, M-O-M-I, the Queen of the Waters, because it is so personal, but I feel like it's a story worth telling. One summer we went camping for a few weeks. My mama loved to fish and be outdoors. I was taught at a young age to be able to fish and hunt. I can skin a deer and clean fish. This chick sounds a lot like me. This one summer I remember because I almost drowned. There was a family camp next to us, and they had 2 boys. I can't remember the younger boy's name, but I'll never forget the older boy's name. His name was Sid. We became friends and would swim until our parents told us to get out of the water. There was a small island across the way from where we were camped, so we had been swimming back and forth and playing around. I have always been a good swimmer, and I am safe around water. I respect it. This would be our last swim to the island. We swam to the island racing. I was over halfway back when I heard Sid. I turned around and he was fighting the water to keep himself up. I swam back to him and got a hold of him. He was so panicked until he was pushing me down under the water. To this day, I remember looking towards the shore and seeing my mama standing there when I was being pushed under the water again. All I could think of was my mama, which is interesting, right? Why was she thinking about that? Right then I thought I was going to drown. Something pushed me, right when I thought I was going to drown, something pushed me up and out of the water. Sid was turned with his back to me, and I was swimming with him in tow. So it wasn't Sid. I was so scared. My mom was crying, standing there in the water. His parents came into the water and got him. I made my way to my mama, and she was saying, "Thank you, thank you." Mama said, "She saved you." I said, "Who?" Mama said, "The Queen of the Waters." From that time, she would tell me stories of the Queen who would save the humans. My mom and my sisters both told me that once she saves someone, they are always safe in the water. They also said that she provides all the fish and seafood, and that her waters can heal and refresh. I will never forget what happened that day, or the way of, I can never forget what happened that day, or the feeling of being pushed up and out of the water. I guess she saved me for a purpose, and I am very grateful. If you feel drawn to the Queen of the Waters, you can set up a small space for her. You can add things to the altar that you feel should be placed there. On my altar, I have a bowl filled with rocks and river water. I also have seashells because she is over all the waterways. The altar is your own personal space, and there are no set rules for doing it. I do give her a nice bottle of perfume. It seems to help her with her workings. Now, this next thing is going to be something I do a video on because it's really killer. It's a fish hook drawing work, or drawing spell. I'm going to give you a small drawing work that can be done for any type of drawing. Drawing in something, yeah? Not drawing with pencil. You need a blue candle, fishing line, which is that clear thread, and a fish hook. That's it. On your altar, place a on your altar, place a photo of whatever it is that you need around the blue candle. And when they say around the candle, I think they mean wrap it around it. It could mean in front of it, but I think they mean wrap it around the outside of the candle. Say your prayer and petition, then light the candle. On the other end of the altar hook, the photo or petition... on the other end of the altar, hook the photo or petition to the fish hook and tie the fishing line onto the hook. Every day say your prayers and petition, and as you are saying them, pull on the hook a little closer to the candle. Pull the hook a little closer to the candle. You continue this until the hook is right next to the candle. Once that first candle burns out, if your petition hasn't been granted, then you repeat the process until you have what you are petitioning for. When your petition has been answered, remove the photo or petition from the hook and then burn it to ash and blow it to the east. Keep the fish hook and work with it when you need to draw something into your life. So you're basically going to get a fish hook that you use as your magical drawing fish hook. So if it was me, I would go to a local sporting goods store and I would pick out a gorgeous, beautiful fish hook. And if you spend $5 on one, you're going to get one that's big and symbolic and beautiful. I would make sure it has a nice big barb on it. A barb is the hook that actually hooks into the lip of the fish so that when the fish goes to pull away, it can't get off again. This will help hold your petition or paper down. I just think it's more symbolic on really the barbs really keeping that there so you can draw it in, and as much as they fight, the fish or what you're trying to draw in won't get off of the line, okay? So to me, those barbs on the hook are really important in the working. And that's something I'm adding in, just of my own intuition. That's not what the book says. So that is the end of the Queen of the Waters. And now we're going to talk about St. Anthony of Padua. Okay? St. Anthony of Padua. Feast day, June 13th. St. Anthony, like St. Peter, is a road-opening saint. He also sits by the door, and he is the finder of things that are lost. I sometimes work with St. Peter and St. Anthony at the same time. I petition St. Peter to open the roads, and then I petition St. Anthony to go find whatever it is I need to either help myself or my client. St. Peter sits on the left side of the door, and St. Anthony sits on the right side of the door. If you look at St. Anthony's attributes, you will get an idea of what to offer him. You can offer him red wine, as it represents the blood of Jesus, white lilies, as he's often pictured holding them, of course the baby Jesus, as he loves him dearly, and the flaming heart, which is this, okay? And on Jesus' chest, you can see the flaming heart there, okay? These can be pictures you have printed out, like what you're going to hang next to your door. They can be pictures you printed out. They could be prayer cards, or they could be statues. Books also have a special place in St. Anthony's heart. Back in his day, books were hard to come by, and he valued them. Most folks burn brown or white candles when petitioning St. Anthony. So, if you had a book that you think St. Anthony would like, you could also put that on an altar that you made for him, because he loves books, and that's something that we have in common. Folks know that he is wonderful at finding things that are lost or misplaced, but he will help with much more than just that. The symbol of a heart on fire is very dear to St. Anthony. Folks know that he is wonderful at finding things that are lost or misplaced, but he will help with much more than just that. The symbol of the heart on fire is very dear to St. Anthony. For this reason, I burn red candles to him when there is any issue going on where the heart is concerned. He can also be petitioned to help others with all matters of the heart, be it healing or other matters such as love. If you are separated from your love, you can petition St. Anthony to draw them back. Okay, so drawing back loved ones. And then there's going to be there's a working in here that I'm going to be doing a video on as well, and that is this one. Lost Love Drawing Work. Set up a small altar with a deep red cloth. You need some lilies, white ones I'm guessing, red wine, a photo of you and your lost love, and a red candle. Lay out the cloth and set out the lilies, the candle, and the wine in the triangle setup. Place the candle at the top, the wine to the right, and the lilies to the left. With a red permanent marker, draw a red heart around the photo. Place the photo in the center of the triangle. Light the candle and call on St. Anthony, petitioning him to bring back your love to you. Continue to pray over the altar daily until the candle burns out. If you still haven't heard anything, keep this work going until you do. seems to be a running theme on when to stop the spell and conjure work. And then we're also going to be doing a video on this. It is a personal power drawing working. So when you're going to be drawing in your personal power, let's see here. St. Anthony is also great to petition when it comes to low self-esteem and personal power. I don't know why I didn't highlight it now. The heart is a powerful organ, and a lot of the time it rules our head, and sometimes we get pulled down. If your personal power is low, and sometimes you just wish you could hide, this work may help you. You need a deep red cloth for the altar, a red bowl, a photo of yourself, a red candle, some lovage, which is a herb, and some dark red wine. Lovage is spelled L-O-V-E-A-G-E. We grow it here. It's really tasty. And some dark red wine. Place the cloth on the altar and place the bowl in the center of the altar. Place your photo in the bowl, then the red candle, then sprinkle the lovage around the candle and cover the photo and the lovage with the red wine. Knock 3 times, call on St. Anthony, and light the candle. Pray your petition over the work as long as the candle is burning. I'm not going to tell you how to pray the petition because it's a type of work very personal and should be between you and St. Anthony. Okay, and then the last thing that we're going to be talking about is the 7 Holy Spirits. The 7 Holy Spirits. The 7 Holy Spirits are found in the Bible in Isaiah 11, verse 2. These 7 spirits can be prayed over in any work or target whose spirit is weak and low. These are the 7 spirits that God has gifted each one of us with. The problem is that when we are growing up into adults, sometimes things happen that weaken your gifts. If you feel you have lost one or more of these spirits, then you can dress a white stick candle with the holy oil and pray Isaiah 11 verse 2 over the candle. And then you call out each of the gifts. Do this work for 7 days. I would like to clarify that what I mean by a lost spirit. If you find yourself always making wrong choices and not understanding why this happens and keeps happening, then I would suggest that you do the work and petition for the spirits of wisdom and understanding to become stronger within your spirit. That makes a lot of sense, you know. It is also possible that the gift of wisdom is missing from your spirit. You miss the wisdom you need to make the right choices or to follow the right path in your life. The last one is the power of might. Many folks become weak in spirit and do not have the wisdom or the understanding of how to get their personal power back. Then this causes folks to make the wrong choices instead. In their life, because they don't have the power to do anything else. Sometimes these things happen in childhood, but they also can happen in adulthood. And when a person is beaten and brought down by life, do the work and get your personal power back, because with a strong personal power comes all the tools you'll need to succeed in life. You are the only person who can hold you back. Anything else, you're giving away your personal power to a person, place, or thing. Isaiah 11 verse 2, it reads that It's short, I'll just read it. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord. Okay, I'm just going to say that. I don't like that. I don't like that people are God-fearing and proud of that statement. It was one of the things that turned me off from Christianity in general. Why would we be proud to fear God? Now, I'm so happy with the path I'm on where Jesus is just a part of the workings that I do. And to be quite honest, it's a small part, but I always ask for him to be with me in spirit and keep me protected. Because I've asked that from him since I was a little girl, and he's been doing a pretty good job, to be quite honest. Whatever we have faith in, it doesn't matter. I don't want to fear God that I work with. I want to be in love and best friends with that spirit. And to me, Jesus has let me have a relationship with him like that. So I've been able to keep these two around in my personal life and my personal thoughts. That's how it works with me. And I practice witchcraft every single day, and I have for the last 2 years been calling myself a witch. Now, I'm an eclectic witch, and I follow many different gods and pathways, and I do what feels right for me, and this is what feels right for me. So, I just want to say the fear of the Lord thing, please comment, no matter what your religion is, or if you even have one, or if you don't, but comment and let me know what you think on that whole fear of the Lord thing, or these God-fearing Christians. Okay, so the 7 Holy Spirits are the Spirit of the Lord, the Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of counsel, the Spirit of might, the Spirit of knowledge, and the Spirit of the fear of the Lord. That is the end of this chapter. And next we're going to be talking about places of power. First place of power, the graveyard. So excited to start that right now. Make sure to check out the Woodland Hag. I'm going to attach her channel down below because she's just got the coolest content. And she's the cutest chick ever. She's this little Scottish witch, and she does so much in nature. And she works with tree stumps, which as an altar, and that's like my new favorite thing. I've been looking in nature trying to find a tree stump. So, on goes the search, and come back and join me for some more Conjure Talk. Jen, the Taxidermy Witch. Bye-bye, guys.